Missions in Grand Theft Auto have come a long way, from gang violence to yoga.
Strong, like an erection of your youth.
Both therapeutic in their own ways, yet so different. PS2 GTA titles had very simple missions. They would always start with a cutscene, usually last about 5 to 10 minutes, and didn't try too hard to convince the player that it wasn't a video game. However, years down the road, missions began to grow increasingly more complex, with GTA 4 utilizing its new physics engine to further perfect the formula that the PS2 games introduced. In GTA 3, enemies will run at you with no care in the world, and you as the player don't have many options to get yourself out of sticky situations. But because GTA 4 is much more detailed with better AI and mechanics, enemies can come from different angles, they can run to different spots for cover, and you can get cover behind anything, which wasn't a feature beforehand. GTA 4 also changed the way the player interacted with their environment. For example, you could pick up bricks off the ground and throw them. Even though GTA 4's missions were the same formula as GTA 3's, because of the new engine, they can be completed in a variety of ways. And finally, in the newest Rockstar titles, GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, missions have evolved tremendously. In GTA 5, every mission feels different. Goodbye to drive here and kill that guy. They are cinematic. They put you in these extreme scenarios and make everything feel more unique. The only issue with the new style of missions is that because they are more cinematic, they are a lot less replayable because Rockstar focused more on making them appear beautiful, opposed to letting the player execute them in different ways. Red Dead Redemption 2 was the first step to mastering the formula. Many say Red Dead 2 isn't replayable, but the truth is it's not as restrictive as many put it on to be. In Red Dead Redemption 2, there's a house robbery mission where Arthur and Hosea go to steal a wagon. There are 2 ways to do this mission, and if you get caught, it doesn't result in a mission fail. You just have to steal the wagon and get out quick before the authorities show up. This mission gives the player so much freedom. Where Red Dead's freedom fails, though, is when you try to run around a building to flank an enemy and Rockstar hands you a slippery old mission fail for abandoning your teammate. I find it's odd because Red Dead is so hit or miss when it comes to mission fails. Grand Theft Auto 6 will be the most immersive game Rockstar has ever made. I mean, they said it themselves. And because missions are a staple for the GTA franchise, we have to wonder what they will be like. And what does immersion have to do with any of this? But because of the many leaks we've gotten over time, we actually have a pretty good idea of how missions in GTA 6 will be different. In one of the leaked GTA 6 clips from 2022, which I will obviously not be showing, but will describe using stock images, Jason is crouching behind a vehicle and an enemy spots him from far away. Once spotted, he moves in slowly and cautiously, and eventually Jason is identified and the guy starts unloading on him. So it's clear that new stealth mechanics will be featured in Grand Theft Auto 6. And speaking of stealth, another major game changer we saw in one of the leaks were security cameras that seem to have some sort of purpose because they weren't marked as ordinary background props. The only games that have deep stealth mechanics are games where you may want to use stealth over loud and stupid. Modern Rockstar titles are known to be extremely easy, but because Rockstar thought it would be a good idea to add a stealth mechanic, maybe that means enemies this time around will pose more of a threat. In Red Dead Redemption 2, enemies strategize how to take down the player. Some will hold back on their horses, some will push, and some will stay behind the people pushing to offer support. Those NPCs are from a 6-year-old game though, meaning the tech is even older. So it's a given that in GTA 6 the NPC behavior will be more advanced. And Red Dead Redemption 2 would be a hard game. The only thing keeping the difficulty at toddler level is how much health the main character actually has, because even though the NPCs are smart, it doesn't really help that they're shooting at a bullet sponge. Furthermore, GTA 6 will also not have the infinite weapon system GTA 5 had. We saw in the leaked footage that you could store weapons on your back, meaning the heavier guns will most likely be stored in the player's trunk. And while this may have just been a debug feature, it looks like you can also drop your weapons as well to make space for other ones like you could in Red Dead 2. All of these mechanics, the stealth, the weapons, the enemy AI, all screams inspiration from another game which we can probably use as an example to figure out what GTA 6 missions will look like. Have you guys ever played The Last of Us? Well, in The Last of Us, you are only one person, surrounded by multiple enemies, and you have to strategize how to take them down. You can use your environment to sneak around or distract them, or you can go in guns blazing, but like real life, it's really hard to win a gunfight against 5 people when there's only one of you. The grounded design of GTA 6, that is very clear even in the trailer, alludes to a more difficult and, in my opinion, fun experience. And to give some honorable mentions to some interesting strategy-based mechanics I discovered, in one of the clips when Jason is on foot, there is no minimap on the screen, but when he hops on a vehicle, it suddenly appears at the bottom right. I really like this mechanic where the only time the minimap appears is when the player is actually next to a GPS. I think that while minimaps are convenient, they're also dumb because at all times you can see where the enemies are. It'll add more difficulty to the game if the player doesn't have this cheat sheet that's always at the bottom right. So now, instead of looking at your cheat sheet, the player will actually have to listen to where the enemy is before making their next move. Another thing I noticed is that Slim Jims are an item in GTA 6 used to steal cars. That way of robbery will most likely be quieter than just bashing a window. So if it's true that making noise may not be safe in GTA 6, silently stealing cars, especially in a gang hideout or something, may be the smarter decision. One last thing to mention is that in the GTA 6 trailer, Jason and Lucia were wearing masks to hide their identity. And at one point, cop cars drive right past the two protagonists, seemingly not recognizing them. Concealing identity before GTA 6 was never a problem because after losing stars, the cops would forget you exist, but the fact that hiding your face is a feature now means that the AI will remember the player. So in missions, Jason and Lucia will have to be careful how they execute them because who knows, maybe if you play the game without a mask on, you'll end up hearing about what the criminal terrorists were up to on Weasel News. It's clear that Grand Theft Auto 6 will have deeper and better missions than anything Rockstar's done before, and if they keep that player freedom like the Red Dead mission we talked about, along with letting the player approach missions quiet or dumb, along with allowing Jason or Lucia to actually flank enemies without an immediate mission fail, GTA 6 may end up being the best game ever made. But you know what would make the game even better? If Rockstar just brought back the hat, everybody. That's right, I'm protesting this again. Give Jason back his backwards cap. It was iconic, it was awesome, and it was perfect for his character design, and he sucks without it. Bring back the hat, Rockstar, don't be stupid. But you know what's not stupid? What you guys think about all this. So make sure to leave your answers in the comments below. What do you want to see in GTA 6's missions? I'll make sure to check the comments out as soon as I possibly can. And of course, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and make sure to have a good one.